Nope, I haven't forgotten. I haven't forgotten about our DrakenSpire at all. If you caught it in the week, we have a brand new episode. It's a brand new series about perplexity. If I can say the word properly, which I just about did that time. There is the alternate world that exists inside Unorthoblocks. There is a strange portal down in the spawn town, and we went to explore it, as are several other members, and we are doing it as a spin-off series to our main Unorthoblocks. But that doesn't mean we're not doing the main Unorthoblocks. We are still doing things here on Unorthoblocks, and that's why we are down here. And in fact, actually, there's a lot to be done in the DrakenSpire. I have loads. I have like a big to-do list. I nearly fell off the edge there. Maybe I want to hold shift and not fall off the edge. That might be a good idea. If you remember, if you have been following the series for a while, you may remember, I am right on the edge there, we've come away from the edge, thank you. You may remember way back, right in the various earliest episodes, I found beneath our base probably the luckiest of finds. No, we're not looking at an octagonal spawner and everything else that's been glitched into existence. This is a natural spawn in itself. There is 3 slime chunks. I was going to say spine chunks. What's a spine chunk? A slime chunk. 3 slime chunks that are all together in this almost sort of T shape you can see behind us there. And also there are 3 spawners as well. So there's a cave spider spawner down there, and then over in this direction behind me is the skeleton one, and then over just around the corner there is a zombie one as well, which are all incredibly useful for different reasons, for different purposes, though I've found more need for using the spider one than I have done the others, because the string's the more important one. Bone I don't really need so much of, because I can get bone meal on a regular basis, and zombies you only really need it for zombie flesh, and I've already got a zombie sort of spawner up on the surface that I barely used, because I barely do much with the villagers, which I should have done more with this season. I wish I had. But the zombies might get useful now because they have a rare chance of dropping copper when they're converted into drowned, so that's something we're going to work on. But I also needed to get my slime chunk working, and the last time you probably saw this is when I was blowing out this area, and it didn't have any of this structure that you see behind us. Now, it's not complete. If we just jump into this mode and stop trying to fall off the edge here, we'll try it again. There we are. Right, you can see that we have already started laying the groundwork. So we've got one of the chambers laid in, so that's one of the chunks over there is one of the slime chunks, and we've got the iron golems in place. We need to do up the other 2. In total, there will be about 24 spawning platforms, though this one and this one should be fine on these chunks and should be full spawning platforms. The weird one's going to be this one, because this one isn't a full spawning platform for all of it, because we've got the spawner in the corner here covering part of the slime chunk, which is the cave spider spawner. So we're not going to get rid of that one either. So we're going to need to have access to get into that one as well. So there'll probably be a little corridor that'll come across here, but we will still have something there. So that still is contributing somewhere to the actual slime progression. And the reason we haven't done it until now is mainly because there isn't really been much need. I mean, Grey's already selling slime balls in the main shopping centre, and there's, that's sufficed, just that's been all I've really needed, plus the odd occasional slime that I've killed along the way for the sticky pistons I've needed to build for my various contraptions. So I've not really had a massive need for slime, and I still don't actually. I don't actually have a massive need for slime, but it was one of those things that I wanted to do in my time on this server, was to build up this sort of spawner area here. So this is one of those things I thought I'd crack on with and get started. And the basics are pretty simple. I've pretty much based it on, you've got a lot of similar sort of designs out there. I had a look at Ilmango's design there and sort of have a little bit of a basis on it. It's not quite exactly the same, but it is pretty similar to what he's got there. So I'll link his one up below for his tutorial. But you can see basically we've got 4 minecarts. They're going around underneath all of these magma things. The slimes, when they hit these magma blocks, they turn around and get burnt down. The slime balls sit on the surface here, then the cart's collected from underneath and drop them into the chest down at the end here. But the slimes are going to be attracted to the magma because of these guys, because we've got the iron golems sitting in towers on either side here, so they will attract them, jump off the edge and fall to their hopefully to their demise down here. That's the idea anyway. And we seem to have string for some reason sat on the surface. I'm not sure why that's there, but yeah, so I'm not quite sure how efficient these will be. I am monitoring them, watching them to see how efficient this one is. This one, oh, we do have I say I haven't seen them actually coming around, but yeah, actually one of them has just spawned right behind me. So that's what I was saying. It's like I haven't seen them spawn for a while, and yep, immediately there we go. They're jumping straight onto the magma. that's probably going to be a problem because they're probably not going to collect from those two bits. Maybe I should have expanded the rails out a little bit. But I'm not too worried about it being hyper efficient. It doesn't need to be hyper efficient. It just needs to be, you know, we don't need an awful lot, but it's just something I wanted to finish off. So that, I think, is what we're going to crack on with next. So it's a couple of days later. There has been no time lapse this time because we've upgraded to 1.17, and because we've upgraded to 1.17, we don't have access anymore to replay mod, which is currently under development. So the guys down there, they do a fantastic job. At the moment, it's not quite ready for us to be using, for the general public to be using, so it's not quite there just yet. So we're just having to hold on while they're doing the final tests and everything else before we can do time lapses. So no time lapse this time, but if we come down here, we will see that I have done an awful lot of, well, not mining, but building off camera. Everything's changed down here. Halfway through the build, somewhere through building the slime part of it, I was sort of thinking, this reminds me of a dungeon. This is like, it's beneath the keep. It's some sort of, it feels like it's some sort of below ground dungeon where things are being kept and things are being tortured and everything else like that. So I thought I would actually build it into a dungeon build. So this is when you come down the water elevators from the main base itself, you are greeted by what is these cells around here. We can actually open up the doors into these, and because I set the half slab on the bottom of the floor there, we don't have to worry about the lighting in this room. So the lighting's only out in the main corridor, so these rooms can actually remain a little gloomy and dark in there in each of the cells. And we've got a number of cells sort of lining around here. And if we take you around here quickly, you've got, first of all, you've got a passageway over here that is going to lead to 2 water elevators. And if we drop down to this water elevator, you'll see this brings us out to our spider farm. And if we give it a second, you can probably hear them in the background. There they are. And yeah, just easy enough, simple, easy to build, easy to use spider farm. And you know, all the parts just drop into the bottom there. And then we've just got this that pops back up. Now the spider farm, as you might remember we were saying earlier, actually intersects the slime farm. So these are actually slime spawning platforms beside us here. There won't be any slime spawning here at the moment because we're a little too close, but it will spawn while we're up and above, and we'll sort that. Those will go across in there. We'll have a look at that in a minute properly. But if we come down to this end of here, we can actually get around to here, and this is our zombie spawner. So there is a zombie spawner just behind the wall here, and what we've got here is a little bit of an extra add-in bit here. So I wanted to sort of experiment a bit with getting the copper from the zombies, which can happen when you convert the zombies over into drowned, and they will drop copper ingots. They'll also drop a lot of other stuff as well when we actually kill them off as well. So when these come down, you can probably just about make out in there. You can see there is a dispenser there, and that dispenser has a water bucket in it, and it is controlled by this button here. So when they drop through, which they will should be doing anytime soon. I can hear them all. There we are. There's one. There's a couple. If we hit this button, this hatch will actually drop and close and open again because of its positioning. But it's now put water just, you can see it just there, flooding the top of them, which if you give it 30 seconds, they will convert over into drowned. And then when we kill them with the sword, there is a chance, not a great chance, it's not a brilliant chance, but there is a chance that they will drop copper. There are, of course, far more efficient, you can see he's starting to go now, you can see him starting to shake, but there are far more efficient ways of actually doing drowned farms, zombie drowned farms. So we're not going to do that on this season. We might look into in the future seasons, but the drop rates aren't particularly great, so every time we've sort of seen them, there we are, they sound like they've converted. If we kill them, we go, oh, one of them actually managed to hit us from that angle. You can see these all drop into, all the bits drop into there. Again, it doesn't look like any coppers come through this time. The rate is quite low, so yeah, it's not fantastic, but you know, it gives us the option there. It's not brilliant though. You can see as we come along here, you can see there are golems here. They're part of the slime farm. They're built into the wall chunks here, sort of built in that way so that we can sort of see them. And then we come around to here, and then we've got the final spawning farm here, which is going to be the skeleton spawner, which is just behind the wall here. And again, all the drops sort of come into the chests here, and we can sort of kill them off from there. If we give it a moment, they'll probably come through, but you know how they work. You've seen how it works with the zombie, you've seen how it works with the spiders, and it's pretty much similar in that same sense. Now, if we come back around this way, we can, all the way around the corner here, you should find there's another water elevator over here. And if we take this down, it brings us down here into the middle of the slime farm. So we have 24 spawning platforms for our slimes all across here, which you can see there are iron golems on either side of these platforms, which then lure them, and you can see some of the slime balls there actually already, so you can see they are working. Lure them over onto the mango blocks, which kills them, and then underneath the mango blocks we have minecarts that are running underneath, picking up the items and dropping them into the chests. And the chests are down over this way, so we can actually come around the back here. We've got like a little ladder that takes us down to the chest storage area. And yeah, you'll find we've got an awful lot of slime balls already coming in on this one. This one, not so many. And these ones, none at all. That's because for some reason, the minecarts on the this side of the farm have stopped running, so I'm going to have to go and dig that up at some point and sort of find out why they've stopped moving. The other two minecarts, I do see that there's one's coming up there now. That one seems to be perfectly active. I think the other one may have now finally stopped as well. So there seems to be some problems. I'm going to need to dig the camera count out, and oh no, there it is. So that one is still running as well. It's just these two on these two lines, which seems to pick up from these sort of areas here. We'll have to sort of dig out the camera count, find out where they stopped, why they stopped, and see if we can fix that very soon. But that is our slime farm. That is our under the keep dungeon itself. As we shoot back up here, you can see I'm very happy with the way this has sort of come out, and with all these this sort of dungeon prison cell. And this is one of the things that was on my to-do list to complete off for the DrakenSpire before we finish the season. And to explain, you may have noticed we had a new episode up this week, or last week, for Perplexity, and episode 1, which is technically still in this season, but it's kind of like a half season in between. You may have mentioned this earlier. It's definitely worth going and checking out. We're doing something a little bit different with that. I quite like where we're going with that one. We'll have the second episode out soon as well, so keep an eye out for that one as well. But this isn't going to be a long thing because we haven't had the time lapse. I haven't been a lot around on the survey game, as I mentioned a few episodes ago. We're going through a lot of difficulties ourselves in my real life as well. But in the meantime, I've been Draken. This has been the DrakenGameWorks, and we hope to see you all again very soon. You guys look after yourself. You will take care. Bye.